The film Rebel Moon Part 2 began with a voice narrating a story about a spaceship and its leader, thereby officially introducing us to the movie. The scene then switches to a man mistreated. Seems to be the guy they killed from Part 1, as he is seen alive after the whole scientific procedure. The Admiral then asked where he was, to which his commander, Cassius, then told him he's in the King Gaze. He then informed Cassius about the whereabouts of the Scargiver and orders him to set a course for Veldt. Just then, we see the villagers returning to their village while riding their horses. We see a guy and a lady talking just then. They receive a signal from their radio, to which one of the soldiers proceeded to talk to Cassius. Cassius informed him about their arrival in 5 days' time. The robot, James, from Part 1 is seen scanning its surroundings. At home, to welcome the returning warrior, however, Kora informs them that Admiral Noble is dead. They are surprised and happy about the news, as they ask if his warriors will still return to hunt them. Just then, the soldier who received a call from Cassius then came in, informing everyone about that the Admiral warrior would be arriving in the next 5 days. Kora assured them that she really killed the Admiral, as his body was smashed onto the rock. Immediately, they all summoned the whole villagers. They informed them about the dark days about to fall on them and how they have to stand together in battle as one to succeed the upcoming darkness. They also promised to teach them how to fight, as they are supposed to act quickly about this. Kora talked about her knowing the fear of the villagers to her friend. And she also told him that it is okay for him to fear, as it is normal for one to do so as it regards to one life. He then told her that the most he has ever feared was the thought and moments where he nearly lost her. Just then, Kora then kissed him, as they both shared a beautiful moment together in bed. In a flashback in space, we see the princess' first official duty and act as she just arrived, as Kora narrates to us that the ship would be named Peacemaker and also bear her royal seal. She also narrates to us, the viewers, as we see the princess coming from her ship, saying Kora was the loyal daughter of her adopted father, to which she could not betray or defy him, as her adopted father told her that the princess must die. However, during her narration, Kora admitted that it was that moment they overthrown the royal family, as they planned to assassinate them all. Kora took out some of the royal family guide, as the king was then stabbed, killing him and his queen. But just as she tried killing the princess, she couldn't bring herself to doing so, as the princess then told Kora that she forgives her, as to which Kora replied, "Don't," before finishing her off. Immediately, they arrested Kora, framing her as the royal family assassin. They held her down, as she then freed herself, aiming her weapon to the leader. She then left doing nothing. Back to present, she explained to us that she loved her life outside as an outlaw. The next day, the villagers rang their bells as it's time for them to work. They proceeded and began harvesting. Meanwhile, at the space, Cassius' attention is needed, as the Admiral isn't himself, as he's seen shouting and eager to take his position. Just then, his doctor informed him that they need to still run some tests to be sure that he's very fit mentally. He, the Admiral, immediately killed him. They then unhook him, as he asked how far it'd take for them to get to Veldt. Back to the village, the villagers kept on working harder and harder. At the spaceship, they called the soldier from Veldt, as he gives Cassius more information about the villagers and the workers. The villagers kept on working hard on their harvest. At night, the villagers gave a toast to their newly warriors as they thanked them for their work and effort. They also received a gift from the villagers. They all wine and dine, while the robot watched them from afar. The next day, the village alarm bell is rang, as today is the day they begin the preparation for their defense, as they move the grain into the village so that the enemy can't shoot them from an orbit without risking its destruction. However, the weapons that was left by the Imperium will help them hold their ground. We see as they all prepare for war, they train and learn how to use heavy weapon. The villagers pull Kora's ship, as it would be used as a heavy weapon, as they planned fixing it, but surprisingly, the ship still works. At night, General Titus and his men discuss about their strategy and also talk about their secret, as General Titus, narrates a story of how they killed and destroyed his army, as he even begged them to spare his warrior's life and take his. However, they did so to punish him, as his men was executed in front of his own eyes, even though the decision to fight Belisarius was his own idea alone, as he swore never to surrender again. Others discuss about their encounter as well. The next day, Kora is seen riding her spaceship, as she seems to keep it in a hidden position. Just as she worked out, she then saw the robot called James. James told Kora that the last person who called him James was the old commander, as he died in his hands. However, he's happy she did so. Kora comforted him with lovely words, but as he leaves, he told Kora that they cannot win. Meanwhile, the dreadnought arrived at their village. They began finishing their work as they planned holding their positions. Inside the spaceship, the commander scanned the environment of the grain, as they could also see that the villagers already stacked the grain round the village wall. With this, they won't be able to shoot down the village from above. Thousands of their spaceship then began landing. Kora is shocked at that fact that the Admiral is still alive. After a long extended discussion between Kora and the Admiral, Kora tried negotiating, but then the Admiral informed her that his men is on his way to hurt those who are hiding. Kora then surrendered, just as it seems, as she hugged her boyfriend saying she knows what she's doing and won't allow the village to die easily. Just as she leaves, he then took her weapon, signaling the villagers to begin their fight. Firstly, they destroyed his ship and a war breaks out. The Admiral goes inside the dugout hole and he began killing those inside. The other Solider goes inside the villagers' storehouse and began opening fire. But as they did so, they also lost their lives. Meanwhile, a fight breaks out between a villager and the Admiral. The scene then switches as we see Kora preparing our spaceship. Back to the battle between the Admiral and villagers, the Admiral beat him up and then slit his neck, followed by sending him out of his spaceship. Kora chased the Admiral's spaceship and pretended to be a soldier as she called to tell them about her faulty aircraft. Meanwhile, on ground, the soldier proceeded to move toward the villagers' hideout and then a battle began as they fight to protect their home. We then see Nemesis on a 1v3 battle as the scene shows that her hand was cut off again. She fought so hard, but she was only able to take 2 out just then. The third guy stabbed her. A boy then ran toward the soldier, then stabbed him. This gave Nemesis enough time to kill him. She and the little boy embraced a moment together as she told him he did really good. Nemesis then passed away. However, General Titus kept on fighting as they have just won the battle, so it seems. During their celebration, immediately they saw a load of army approaching the whole village and destroying things. Meanwhile, Kora seemed to have sneaked inside the Admiral's spaceship as an injured patient. She and her boyfriend eliminated all the soldiers in there and moved toward an elevator. At the village, they kept on destroying things and lives. Back to Kora, Kora began placing bombs around the whole spaceship. The battle between the villagers and the army seemed to be more intense. One of the soldiers then saw her, and Kora killed him and all under the engine room. They informed Cassius and the Admiral that Kora is now in their spaceship. Meanwhile, at the village battleground, more of the Admiral men showed up with heavy weapon machinery. Just as the villager and warriors are willing to sacrifice their lives, we then get to see James looking very angry as he began fighting and also destroying their battleship. Meanwhile, Kora and her boyfriend communicate as there isn't much time left. Kora then fought with some army as they caught up with her. She then entered the room where the Admiral was while his soldier locked the village on target and other to just destroy it for good. Just as they did so, the engine room where Kora placed a bomb then goes off, destroying their spaceship. As the battle between Kora and the Admiral was about to break out, Kora's boyfriend then took out one of his men but then got shot in the process. After a long extended battle with the Admiral, Kora pushed him while the spaceship was crashing, making him hit the ground badly. Although he stood up looking okay as he continued to fight with Kora. He tried strangling her, but then, just then, Kora's boyfriend came to her rescue as he stabbed Noble, the Admiral, from behind. As he fell to a door, Kora then closed it, hitting him in half before cutting off his head. Kora then flew her ship out of the crashing spaceship, although hers didn't have the perfect landing. Kora then rushed as she carried her injured boyfriend out as he was already dying. The whole villagers cheered up as they celebrate their victory. At night, they honor those who passed away from the battle. Kora cried so hard as they buried them all. James vows to fight and protect them. They all vow to fight, as the movie then came to an end. Thanks for watching. For more recaps like this, kindly subscribe. Bye.